an auspicious day, and tomorrow is another auspicious day. So I'm going to speak about both, but primarily and first of all about Lord Varaha. Lord Varaha, many of you know, there are 10 principal Leela avatars, Das avatar, stotra, sings about each of these 10. And there we see a nice BBT painting. There's Lord Varaha lifting up the earth planet on his tusks because the earth planet had fallen out of its orbit, because Hiranyaksha was busy getting metals like gold and things from the earth for his dear brother, and the earth fell out of its orbit. And so Lord Varaha rescued the earth from the bottom of the Garbhodak ocean. And there he goes, lifting it up and up and up. Many other nice paintings. I'm not going to discuss all of the many, many, many appearances, but here's some of those many appearances. This is a statement from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 13. If, with an attitude of devotional service, one hears and describes this auspicious narration of Lord Boar's pastimes, which are worthy of description, the Lord, who is within the heart of everyone, is very pleased. Nothing remains unachieved when the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pleased with someone. By transcendental achievement, one understands everything else to be insignificant. One who engages in transcendental loving service is elevated to the highest perfectional stage by the Lord himself, who is seated in everyone's heart. Now, the Lord is seated in our heart, and yet we see he's lifting up the universe, the earth planet. So there are different manifestations of that one Supreme Lord, Bhagavan. And the Leela avatar of Varaha is very, very special. Here's a statement in Laghu Bhagavatamrita, for those of you not familiar. Laghu Bhagavatamrita is a book written by Rupa Goswami, one of our foremost of the 6 Goswamis and Acharyas in our disciplic line. Shh. Rupa Goswami had an elder brother. The elder brother was named Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami wrote Brihat, which means great, Brihat Bhagavatamrita. So his younger brother, being humble, if he's going to write Brihat Bhagavatamrita, I'll write Laghu Bhagavatamrita. Very light, nothing like Brihat. Brihat is great. So Laghu Bhagavatamrita is something like Canto 1, Chapter 3. Canto 1, Chapter 3. Canto 1, Chapter 3 is, a big part of it is a list of the avatars of the Lord that descend in this world. Laghu Bhagavatamrita, that's all it is. And but details and details, and very fascinating book. So some of the writings of Rupa Goswami about Lord Varaha, the Boar avatar advented twice. First, during Swayambhuva Manvantar, from the nostril of Brahma, in order to lift up the earth from the Rasatala region. Rasatala region, there's 7 lower, and Rasatala is at the bottom of the 7. So the earth had sunk to the bottom region of the universe. And from the nostril, very, very interesting way to appear, he appeared from the nostril of Lord Brahma. And then descended and picked up the earth planet. Then a second time, during Chakshusha Manvantar, he appeared from water. And in that case, he killed Hiranyaksha. Second canto. Another quick reference. We thus conclude that Sri Varaha enacts his pastimes at two different times, and that Maitreya combined the incidents from both histories in his answer to Vidura's questions. Now, those of you that are a little familiar with the structure of Srimad Bhagavatam, you'll know, and for those of you not familiar, you can know. There was a period of time we find in Mahabharata when Vidura, it's in the Bhagavatam as well, Vidura was insulted by Duryodhana. But he didn't leave because he was insulted. He left because he understood, there's no service for me here. I'm not going to remain in this contaminated place. If I could do some service and uplift people, okay. But rather than going to be with Krishna, I've been in this contaminating association, let me go on pilgrimage. And it was a long pilgrimage. For 1 full year. He headed south, and then he went all the way down to the bottom of India, and then back up the west side of India. And on his way back to Hastinapur, he made a stop in Vrindavan. And when he stopped in Vrindavan, he saw Uddhava. Uddhava! Because Uddhava is connected with Krishna. When you see Uddhava, he even looks like Krishna. He just thought of Krishna. And so he asked Krishna questions. Many Krishna questions. Uddhava answered some, but then he said, actually, it's not appropriate that I answer the rest of your questions. Up north in the Himalayas, not so far from here, is Maitreya. Vastly learned person. Out of respect for the seniority of Maitreya, you should go see him and ask these other nice questions. So he went. He found Maitreya in a cave in the Himalayas. I mean, find a needle in a haystack. He found it. He found him. And then questions and questions. The universe is going to end. The little body makes all that noise. Wow. Whew. Willie gets bigger. So in the third canto, the earlier chapters, there's the discussion between Vidura and Maitreya. And it's a long discussion. And in that long discussion, many topics are discussed. And one of the incidents discussed was about Lord Varaha. So a couple verses later, it is mentioned in the Vishnu Dharmotara that by the will of the Lord there was a sudden deluge during the reign of Chakshusha Manu. During his reign, not at the change from one Manu to the next. During his reign, there was a flood, the whole universe. Lord Varaha appeared at that time to lift the earth, which had become submerged. And that's when he killed Hiranyaksha. Now there's different descriptions in those different narrations. One is he chopped him with his Sudarshan chakra. Another is he hit him with his hoof in the side of his head and finished him, Hiranyaksha. There's the description, there, or the painting. There's, on the right, Vidur was a grahastha, and Maitreya was a renunciate, and they're having this nice conversation. Similarly, there's this discussion in Canto 6, many places, Varaha is a topic. Prajapati Daksha begets 60 daughters who get married and have many offspring. He's a Prajapati, and one of the functions of a Prajapati is produce praja, or offspring. So one of the ways to do that, he had sons and he had daughters. And 60 daughters, they were married, what they're holding up in this thing in front of them, they produced different species. They're very capable ladies. Thus the universe became filled with various kinds of living entities, human beings, demigods, demons, beasts, birds, and serpents. Among Kasyapa's 13 wives, because of the 60, 13 were given to Kasyapa. One of the 13 was Aditi, and Aditi gave birth to demigods. Well, Diti gave birth to the Daityas. Daityas means sons of Diti, Daityas. And Hiranyaksha was one of them. And this is during the Chakshusha Manu, 4th canto described, but this is a narration. We're just piecing things together. 3rd canto, 6th canto, 4th canto. Back to 6th canto, this is Kashyapa and Diti. She desired to have union with her husband, but she came to speak with him on this topic at the wrong time. He was in the midst of performing a yajna. And so he said to her, this is very inappropriate. And because of this, the sons that you'll have are going to be demons. Oh, no, no. Oh, yes, yes. And then the Bhagavatam there describes who those demons were. You all know the story. This is the gate, the 7th gate of Vaikuntha, and there's the gatekeepers, and the 4 Kumaras wanted entrance, and Jai and Vijay said, excuse me, but you're naked. So it's not, you can't come in. Go get dressed or something. And they were cursed to become demons 3 times. One of them, Hiranyaksha, he departed and he made this big program of disrupting the earth planet to get gold for his brother Hiranyakashipu. And there's Lord Varaha rescuing the earth. Nice painting. Another nice painting. And another nice painting. And when the earth planet was rescued, the demigods were all watching, because it's fantastic. Lord, the personality of Godhead appearing in this form of a boar. The explanation that Prabhupada gave is consistently that the bottom of the universe is not a clean place. The Garbhodak ocean is a clean place, but the bottom of the universe is where the lower planets are. So to rescue the earth from that lower region, he appeared as a Varaha, as a boar, because boars go into not clean places and do their business. So many nice paintings, and one of the Tagore family Nice illustration. There's Hiranyaksha down below him, and there's the earth planet up above him. And our last slide on, because there's a much longer presentation, but I wanted to speak something about Lord Nityananda also, because tomorrow is his appearance day. So we're going to just a little introduction, and maybe we'll see you again tomorrow. Maybe more people tomorrow, who knows? So here's what is understood by Vaishnavas as from Varaha Purana. It's the Charama Sloka, or the highest teaching about Lord Varaha. I'll just read the translation. When a person whose mind is sound, body is in good health, and all mental and physical faculties working perfectly intact, thinks that I am indeed the very cause of this universe, or the form of the universe, that I am without birth. This is Varaha speaking, not Mayavadi. Then I assure that I will remember that this devotee of mine when he or she is on their deathbed, lying helplessly like a stone or a log of wood, and personally take him or her to the supreme abode. Pretty nice, huh? Sounds too simple. Well, try it and see how simple it is, because those of us that are in the material world, that's all of us, the mind is distracted by you name it. And it's things that we desire and things that we don't have, things that we have, things that we're attached to, and the mind is busy with stuff. And the transcendent Lord has nothing to do with stuff, although he's the source of it. So to extract the mind from stuff and have the mind absorbed in the Supreme, that's exceptional. And the process of bhakti yoga provides us the facility for that. Now this is just a little summary, and I'm going to go quickly to Lord Nityananda, because tomorrow we'll be observing Nityananda's appearance day, and I want to do a little warm-up, because tomorrow we'll speak more about Lord Nityananda. Way back, the very year of Srila Prabhupada's birth, 1896, some years ago, Bhaktivinoda Thakur had a vision, a dream, a wish, an expectation that people of the world, according to the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, they should hear the holy name of the Lord. And they should, to do that, it would help them so much if they knew who is Lord Chaitanya. And so Bhaktivinoda Thakur, wrote a book in English, small, The Life and Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Life and Precepts of Lord Chaitanya in English. And it's about a 96-page little booklet, and out of his own pocket he paid for the printing and sent it to universities. At least he felt that educated people in the world should know who is Lord Chaitanya and his teachings, because he's the Yuga Acharya, the one who gives the means of spiritual perfection for the sage. And he did so principally through Lord Nityananda. I mean, with others, of course, and he himself. But Lord Nityananda was a big instrument. And so Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're the co-manifestations of Krishna and Balaram. Just like on our altars, well, you know, from the painting, or excuse me, the photograph in the middle, Krishna holding his flute, blackish in form, with his elder brother Balaram leaning on his shoulder. They're always situated like that. Lord Chaitanya, similarly as Krishna himself, Lord Nityananda is Balaram himself. Now, many of you know all this, but there's some persons that are perhaps new, and it's good to hear it again and again anyways. There's these very simple saying, Prajendra Nandana Ye, Sachi Sutta Hoido say, Balaram Hoido Nitai. Krishna has come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the son of Mother Shachi, and Balaram has come as Lord Nityananda. From Chaitanya Charitamrita. Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanandao Sahoditao Godo Daye Pushpavantao Chitrao San Dao Tamo Nidao. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Shri Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are like the sun and the moon. They have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of Goda to dissipate the darkness of ignorance and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon all. Now these are the words of the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, the vastly eloquent and learned Krishnadas Kaviraj, in summarizing, introducing to his reader who is Lord Chaitanya and who is Nityananda, likening them to the sun and the moon being the reflection of the light of the sun, or Nityananda being the receiver of first expansion of Lord Chaitanya, just as Balaram is the first expansion of Krishna. And the function of Nityananda is a guru function. The function of guru is to give Krishna. The function of Lord Nityananda is to give Krishna. He assisted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was a principal assistant in distributing the holy name and Krishna Prema. In fact, Lord Nityananda gives the pure holy name. And there's a teaching that says, Lord Chaitanya instructed him, please, not only give the holy name, but give the pure holy name. But the customers in the market, Namahata, the marketplace of the holy name, they have to pay a fair price. And what's that fair price? Faith. And with faith in the holy name, very simple. Take the holy name with faith, chant with faith, and there's an experience. The pure holy name has this power. Here's a pranam mantra to Lord Nityananda, written by, again, same author, pictured here on the left. That's Rupa Goswami. Let me offer my obeisances to Lord Sri Nityananda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose opulence is wonderful and unlimited. It's not Rupa Goswami, it's Krishnadas Kaviraj. By his will, even a fool can understand his identity. Meaning, it doesn't take intellectual prowess to understand transcendence. In fact, intellect can sometimes cause one to be proud. And if one is proud, one isn't going to understand anything properly. But by the mercy of those who are bestowers of transcendental wisdom upon those who are humble and meek, even a fool can understand transcendental life. Here's another pranam mantra. This is, the source is Dhyana Chandra Goswami. Who's Dhyana Chandra Goswami? Dhyana Chandra Goswami lived in Jagannath Puri. He was a disciple of Krishna. Gopal Guru. Gopal Guru was a disciple of Akreshwara Pandit, who was an intimate associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So 4 generations later, Dhyana Chandra Goswami, very gifted author, wrote beautifully and extensively on the chanting of a holy name, which he learned from his spiritual master. He's offering his prayers to Lord Nityananda. I offer my humble obeisances to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who has a single pearl dangling from one of his ears. He is the elder brother of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the purifier of the earth. Now, they weren't brothers in the sense that they had the same father and mother. They had different father, different mother. One was born in this place, the other was born in that place. But the appearance of Nityananda was just before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, and they were brothers, transcendental brothers. Transcendental brothers. Just like Krishna and Balaram. They had different mothers, but they're brothers. And here's Dhyana Chandra Goswami writing again, this dhyan or meditation on Nityananda. Let me always remember that brightly smiling face of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, whose beautiful movement ridicules the graceful gait of an elephant. His cloth resembles a cluster of blue lotus flowers, and his bodily effulgence conquers the splendor of the rising moon at sunset. His prema-saturated rolling eyes defeat the pride of a restless Kanjana bird. Now, he, like many authors, he's a poet, and he likes glorifying using nice metaphorical language. And this is an introduction to what we're going to be discussing. You can say this is part 1 of what we're going to be doing tomorrow for Nityananda's appearance day, in anticipation of his appearance day. So here's some nice verses drawn directly from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela. May Sri Nityananda Ram be the object of my constant remembrance, Sankarshana, Sheshanag, and the Vishnus who lie on the Karna ocean, Garbhodok ocean, and the ocean of milk are his plenary portions, and the portions of his plenary portions. Now, Chaitanya Charitamrita is the postgraduate study, meaning Bhagavad Gita is undergraduate study. Srimad Bhagavatam is graduate study, and this is postgraduate study. What we're hearing is there are expansions. The original source of everything is who? Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the undergraduate study, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matak sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam bodha bhava samandita. So Krishna is the original source of everything. Then, in Srimad Bhagavatam, we hear about what are some of the personal expansions of the original source of everything. There's expansions of his energies. There's expansions of himself. And there's expansions of those expansions. Srimad Bhagavatam. So now we're hearing the postgraduate study. Nityananda is not different than Balaram, and there are features of Balaram as he manifests as Sankarshana, Sheshanag, and the three Vishnu forms of this world. Those are the portion of a plenary portion. It's a little technical, but it helps us understand the principle. The principle is there is a source of everything. And then from that source of everything comes everything. And there are different categories of everything. And higher science tells us what are some of those everythings. And then a little bit more details about each one of those everythings. Nityananda, the message here is Nityananda is a very important personality. The very next verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita, I surrender unto the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, who is known as Sankarshana. Remember that his name was in the previous verse. What's Sankarshana mean? There's the four, Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. Some of you are a little familiar with these terms. Some of you may not be so familiar with these terms. In the spiritual world, the original person manifests into these, first manifestation into these four. And Sankarshan is the first of those four. Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. He, Nityananda, possesses full opulences and resides in Vaikuntha, Loka, far beyond the material creation. Many of you have Srimad Bhagavatam in your home. And if you don't, someday you'll get Srimad Bhagavatam in your home. Probably. There are very enthusiastic devotees that will help you bring Srimad Bhagavatam into your home. Srila Prabhupada brought the Bhagavatam with him, first canto Bhagavatam, all the way from India, and then continued the translation of the entire Srimad Bhagavatam and many other things. Prabhupada not only could translate, he was an art designer. He instructed artists how he wanted paintings drawn. So he commissioned some artists in India that became the cover of Canto 1 Srimad Bhagavatam. And those of you that have it, congratulations. Look closely at the cover painting. The cover painting, you'll see, up here is like kind of on the corner. There's Goloka, and then surrounding Goloka, there's Vaikuntha planets. There's little bubbles, so each of them are Vaikuntha planets. Then there's this in between the material and spiritual realm, the river Viraja, or the causal ocean, and then floating in the causal ocean are all the universes, floating on the causal ocean. So look closely next time you get home, and look closely at, in the center of the lotus, that's Krishna Loka. Look closely and you'll see over here there's this little section, a quadrant, called Svetadweep. It's right in Sri Brahma Samhita. And Svetadweep is the eternal residence place of Lord Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all their associates. And they're dancing in Sankirtan in Krishna Loka. Isn't that nice? So we can do the same thing here, and if we do the same thing here, we're eligible to go there. And it's the primary means for eligibility, just like before this class, those nice kirtan, Nordishringa prayers, and then the class. So all three of these are helpful to regain entrance into the spiritual world. And guess what? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains, those who are followers of Lord Chaitanya become pure through the process of chanting. They can take part both in Krishna's pastimes and Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. It's not like the soul divides into two souls. He doesn't give the technology. It's a mood of love. And the mood of love, one manifests a form like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, and one manifests a form like Krishna and his associates. Nice? Pretty interesting. So this is Adi Lila, text number 8. Here's text number 9. I offer my full obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, whose partial representation, called Karana Dakshay Vishnu, lying on the Karana ocean, is the original Purusha, the master of the illusory energy and the shelter of all the universes. So Lord Nityananda is a busy fellow, but he just expands himself, and Mahavishnu is the busy fellow, but he's the portion of a portion. That's Mahavishnu, generating universes. That's a lot of universes. And within each universe, there's a Garbhadakshay Vishnu. That's the next verse. I offer my full obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, a partial part of whom is Garbhadakshay Vishnu. From the navel of Garbhadakshay Vishnu sprouts the lotus that is the birthplace of Brahma. There he is, Lord Brahma, the engineer of the universe. The stem of that lotus is the resting place of the multitude of planets, which means the planets are within the stem. On top of the stem is a flower, and that's the abode of Lord Brahma. Within the stem are the various planets, multitude of planets that make up the universe that Lord Brahma is going to be the engineer of. And not only that, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, whose secondary part is the Vishnu lying in the ocean of milk. That Kshirodakshay Vishnu is the super soul of all living entities and the maintainer of all the universes. Sheshanag is his further subpart. He's busy. In the spiritual and the material realm. All these verses are first addressing Nityananda Ram, who has these various expansions. Nityananda Ram is an expansion of Krishna, or Lord Chaitanya. One of the associates in disciplic line from Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, several generations later, comes Narottam Das Thakur, and he wrote some prayers, prarthana, a prayer to Lord Nityananda, and that's the title, Nitai Pada Kamala, the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. And here's the first line. The lotus feet of Lord Nityananda are a shelter where one will get the soothing moonlight, not only of one, but of millions of moons. Koti Chandra Shushitala. If the world wants to have real peace, it should take shelter of Lord Nityananda. Unless one takes shelter under the shade of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, it'll be very difficult for him to approach Radha Krishna. Then he says it conversely. If one actually wants to enter into the dancing party of Radha Krishna, he must firmly catch hold of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. We hear so much, those followers of Lord Chaitanya at least, hear so much about Radha Krishna and their loving affairs, and the dancing of the rasa dance with the Krishna and the gopis. And if one wants to enter, the teaching of Narottam Das Thakur is, there isn't an alternative. You have to take shelter of Lord Nityananda and get his mercy. And here's Prabhupada much later in that same Adi Lila chapter 5. anyone desiring to become expert in the service of Sri Radha and Krishna should always aspire to be under the guidance of Sri Damodar Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. To come under the protection of the Goswamis, one must get the mercy and grace of Nityananda Prabhu. Very important. He's very busy, and he's a very important person to become attached to, at least familiar with, enough that you desire his shelter. Another in disciplic succession great personality is Lochan Das Thakur. Lochan Das Thakur wrote, Nitai Gunamani Amara. My Lord Nitai is the jewel of all transcendental qualities. It is said that Nityananda Prabhu is more merciful, more magnanimous, more munificent than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And why is that? Because he gave association to many. We'll hear, not tonight, but tomorrow. Krishna permitting, I'll be here tomorrow. Krishna permitting, you'll be here tomorrow. Maybe there'll be some other people here tomorrow too. We have this nice prayer by Rupa Goswami. We all know the nice prayer. Namo Mahabhadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gaur Trishe Namaha. The most munificent of all avatars of the Lord is Lord Chaitanya, because he freely gave Krishna Prema. Well, here's a statement. He's more merciful, more magnanimous, and more munificent than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent him, we'll hear tomorrow, he sent him when his mother asked him to go stay in Puri. He sent Lord Nityananda back to spread the chanting of the holy name throughout the land with a team of other madmen like him. It's a very nice pastime described. Here's the birthplace of Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda Janmastan. And it's an acre chakra. You can see it's a simple village. They have lots of cows and it's very simple people. And this is the Garbha Vas, the place where he appeared. It's not, he didn't stay in that little house, but that it just marks the spot. And he was the elder brother of the two. So 12 years before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, he appeared. So he's 12 years older. And there's inside that little Garbhavas, there's a murti of Lord Nityananda. They even nearby the birthplace, they have this little shrine. It was the burial place of his umbilical cord. I don't know how many people have their umbilical cord, have a shrine, but he does. And also in Ekachakra, there's this fascinating deity of Lord Shiva, Mayureshwara Shiva. And when Lord Nityananda appeared, this deity of Lord Shiva roared so loud that Advaita Acharya, who is from like miles and miles and miles away, he heard the roar and he understood what was going on. Seeing Nitai, Lord Sankara danced exactly like a peacock. In this way, he fulfilled the purpose of his name, Mayureshwara, the Lord of the peacocks, Mayureshwara Shiva. And he danced and danced and danced. Mayureshwara is the deity of Shiva near Ekachakra. It's not in Ekachakra, but near. We'll see the place. Just next slide. However, by seeing Nityananda's appearance, Shiva actually started dancing like a peacock. By so doing, he got his name. And there's the shrine where this deity of Lord Shiva is. It's in the ground, and there's the place where the deity is, in Ekachakra. So when he appeared, of course, the residents of Ekachakra, they have special affection for Nityananda, so that they placed him here in the middle, Lord Chaitanya on one side, Advaitacharya on the other side. And here's this mudra of Lord Nityananda offering his mercy to one and all, because that's what he did. He's a very merciful feature of the Supreme Lord. When he was young, growing up in Ekachakra, he found a deity floating in the river by the side of Ekachakra. There's a river, and he found a deity. And the deity is Banka Roy, or crooked, hunched over, bent. And on one side is Radharani. It is said Lord Nityananda left this world by entering into this deity. Here's a close-up of the deity. Very sweet deity, bent over. And the place where he found the deity is Kadamba Kandi. Kadam Kandi is a ghat where there's a river flowing nearby, and there's a Gambira, a little stanchion, and outside the temple where they have kirtan, and inside this is the deity. This is where he found the deity of Banka Roy, floating in a tributary of the river Jamuna. This place, some of you know from Mahabharata, after the House of Lak incident happened, some of you are nodding, you know the story. The Pandavas were rescued by the assistance of Vidura. They went on the other side of the river, and they were the Hastinapur folks, particularly Duryodhana, thought they were dead, but they weren't. And they consulted Vyas. Vyas suggested that they come here to Ekachakra. And so they did. They stayed for some period of time. And it's not so far from the appearance place. It's called Pandavatala. When Lord Nityananda was a little boy, here's some description from Chaitanya Bhagavat. Now, for those of you that are a little not so familiar, there are many biographies of Lord Chaitanya. Prominent within ISKCON, Prabhupada translated it, Chaitanya Charitamrita, by Krishnadas Kaviraj. But before him, there was another book, Chaitanya Bhagavat, written by Vrindavan Das Thakur. And then there was another, Chaitanya Mangala. So there are many biographies of Lord Chaitanya's life. This is from Chaitanya Bhagavat. Because Chaitanya Bhagavat was written first. When Krishnadas Kaviraj wrote, he didn't include many of the details that are in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Chaitanya Bhagavat focuses on the childhood of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. And then the later pastimes are emphasized in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So purposefully, the second chronological Chaitanya Charitamrita doesn't replicate what already was told or written. So this is from Chaitanya Bhagavat, the childhood pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, particularly Lord Nityananda and Ekachakra. He, Nityananda, being Balaram, he was completely immersed in the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. Somehow, he knew. And so, like Ananta Shesh glorifies the personality of Godhead again and again and again at every moment, so similarly, the source of Ananta Shesh, namely Nityananda, played these pastimes. There's a long section. And sometimes they play the activities of the cowherd boys. This is a nice drawing, line drawing. There's Lord Balaram with his plow, and Lord Nityananda would play the role of Lord Balaram. And when demons came, he would threaten them, and the pastime of stealing butter. And there's a very amazing description of Kaliya serpent. One of the boys got a branch that had some foliage on it, and one of the boys behind danced as if he was dancing on the Kaliya serpent, and the branch was moving and moving, and they said different things, and he was the director and chief actor because he knew the pastimes, and they just played like boys will play, and they were transcendently happy being under the guidance of Lord Nityananda. Once they were passing pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. So once Nityananda became so absorbed in the mood of Lakshman fighting in Lanka that he actually became unconscious by the power of the Shakti Shaila weapon sent by the enemy of Indra. And he remained in that condition for so long, the other devotees thought, uh-oh, maybe something happened. So they went and got their parents. And when the parents saw Nityananda was unconscious as Lakshman, they started to cry. Then one boy said, Nityananda told me that when he faints, Hanuman should go bring the Sanjeevani medicinal plant from the Gandhamandana mountain. And when Nityananda smells it, he'll regain consciousness. So they sent one boy to get the Sanjeevani. And so he brought back the plant, put it under the nose of Lord Nityananda, who came back to consciousness. And in this way, all day long, Krishna's pastimes, Ramchandra's pastimes, because they're all his pastimes. He knew the pastimes very well. He trained up all the boys. They didn't have to go read Ramayana and Mahabharata. He knew the pastimes. And this went on until the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The very time the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu occurred, 12 years later, one sadhu came to Ekachakra. And the sadhu that came to Ekachakra came to see the mother and father of Lord Nityananda. And immediately, because he's a sadhu, they wanted to do whatever service you want. He said, thank you. It's like Vishishta Muni asking Dasarath for his son. I want your son to come with me. Oh no, he's our life and soul. But you gave your word. And so, with much weeping and sorrow, there's a very lengthy discussion of the emotions churning in the hearts of his mother and father. And they stand watching him walk down the path, not to be seen again in Ekachakra. That was it. 12-year-old boy, gone for good. And the sannyasi took him on pilgrimage as his assistant to various holy places. And one of those places they went was Pandharpur, and there Nityananda met Lakshmipati Tirtha. So those of you that don't know the disciplic succession, I'll list. We're going to go up. Lord Chaitanya had a spiritual master. His spiritual master, Ishwara Puri. Ishwara Puri's spiritual master, Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri's spiritual master, Lakshmipati Tirtha. In Pandharpur is the famous place where Lord Vittala is the principal deity. And in that place, Nityananda received Diksha from Lakshmipati Tirtha, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from his grand disciple, Ishwara Puri. But it's quite okay because it's connection with the disciplic succession. It's not like pecking order. But it's interesting detail. So he formally received mantra diksha. And later, much later, when Lord Chaitanya was a mature young man, after his taking sannyas, he went looking for his brother, Vishwarup, who had also taken sannyas. And he found that he had left his body in Pandharpur and did the rituals for his departed brother. Meanwhile, during this period of time when Nityananda was traveling, because Lord Chaitanya had appeared, and it was 20 years later that they actually met, because he wanted that Lord Chaitanya would become a Vaishnav, because before he was a Vaishnav, he was a scholar, Nimai Pandit. Super scholar, not just a scholar. And a Sanskrit grammar teacher in Navadvip. So one of the places he sat waiting for Lord Chaitanya to begin his pastimes as a devotee was this place called Shingar Vat or Nityananda Vat. And you'll find it down by the banks of the river Jamuna. It's a nice place. And he also made some residence in Radhakund. And there's a place, a sitting place of Lord Nityananda at Radhakund. And let's go inside and see the deity inside. Well, it's not a deity, it's a painting of Lord Nityananda. And he was just waiting and waiting, transcendentally eager for gaining the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his mood as the best of all devotees. And sure enough, that's what happened. We'll hear about the rest of what happened tomorrow on his appearance day. This is just a warm-up. But we'll begin where we just left off. They're meeting for the first time. The two lords, like Krishna and Balaram meeting for the first time. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda meeting for the first time. It was a spectacle. It was very, very nice. So this is double header this evening. Varaha. Lord Varaha appeared today. So yesterday we observed Varaha Ekadasi. This is Varaha Dwadasi, the breaking of the fast in honor of Lord Varaha's appearance, who appeared many times. For those of you that are in Premananda, where's Premananda? I'm going to send you a document that says what you said. When she made her introductions, she said, Varaha made many appearances. And there are many appearances. I just focused on two to keep it simple because this is the Sunday feast. But there's many appearances. And there's a nice document I'll send you. and you can circulate to whoever you feel it's appropriate to send it to. Lord Varaha's appearance day, Ki. Nityananda's appearance day tomorrow, Ki. Gaur Premanandi.